Hi guys, E here. Welcome to another video. This is an exciting one for me because one of our long-awaited papers was accepted last week for publication. Now, when the paper is accepted, this is what you see on your editorial manager. You see that there's a paper completed and accepted. Once you see this. Uh, that's if you keep checking. But if you are not, that's the first thing you receive an email that has this. I'm pleased to inform you that your paper has been accepted for publication. It's usually like this, but it's different versions of it depending on the journal. So it can be written in a different way. However, this is a very exciting email to receive. Once you've received this email, the next thing is that they will ask you to do the rights. They send you this. Then the next thing you receive the rights to do the rights. The right is like a legal document that shows who the paper belongs to and if you're giving the publishing house access to it and stuff like that. So once the rights is done, a version of it will be emailed to you and your other collaborating authors, right? So the rights, I think it's something like this. Yeah. Let me see if I can show you a version of it. Yeah, this is it. Let me see, is there a PDF version of it? Yeah. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, you receive the rights summary as well. Now, once you've received this, then you receive a second email. This email is telling you to do the pre-proofs. Now, it can take any time from 1 day to, however, depending on uh, how urgent the publishing house wants to publish the paper. So this took about, I think, less than 24 hours for this to come, indicating that uh, it's going online quite quickly. So once you get this, the link is sent. Almost always is sent to the publishing author, the corresponding author, sorry, sent to the corresponding author. So I'm getting it because I'm the corresponding author to the paper. Now, if we follow this link or you copy it and put it in a browser, it opens to this, right? It opens to this and it's indicating that I'm a corresponding author to the paper with this, but I'm the one whose email is in it, so it came to me. Once you move proceed, it opens up to this usually, and this is the paper. Usually when it opens to it, if it's your first time, there's always a tutorial. However, I've done it before, so the tutorials are not so important for me. So that's the paper. Sorry, let me go to the top and just pull it up easily. So that's the paper, nicely written. Before I start doing this, I almost always open the paper, have it here, so that I can at least compare the version that was accepted with the version that they have in the system, just to be on the safer side. So those are versions accepted. Now, when you go here, I've opened it before, but if you look at it here, there are queries. Now, the queries are very important. It's like questions or suggestions or whatever they want you to answer to, right? Fortunately for us, the queries are just two. If you look at it, question one, question two, queries are just two. This is because the revision process of this paper was very tedious. It was taking the time to do it very well. So after it's done, like it goes easily. So to just two queries. Now the first query, if you take your time to read it, the first query is just asking us to be careful to see if the surnames are the ones that have been highlighted, if the names are correct and the arrangements are correct. You see that these are the two emails of the two correspondents. So I and Lihua, right? Okay. So once I look at it, I again compare. Just don't be eager. Don't act as if you know. No matter what, just try to compare and see, right? Okay, so compare it carefully. You go back there. Okay, everything is correct. So you just write correct, or you say right, or it is right. However you want to, you can just use yes. There's also yes here, but like yeah, if you write correct or you use a yes, it's okay. Then update it. The yes is saying that the names are right and everything is right. It's updated right nicely. Then you go to the second one. Now the second one is in regards to if this particular paper was submitted to a special issue, but it wasn't submitted to a special issue. It was just a regular issue. So it will be published as a regular item and not as a special issue. So it's correct and just update it. Now the queries are two. The queries can be from zero or from one to, however, again, depending on how many errors or questions they have regarding the paper. I've had cases where there have been duplicates of the references. So I was asked to remove one of them, or if they should merge it. So if you at the time of submission, if you look at all these things very, very careful, you won't have any of those problems with it. Now, once you have it, just try and go through, look at it carefully because the paper bears your name. In the future, any other problem that comes to the paper, it will be sent to the corresponding author. So make sure that everything is done right. Go through before, right? Because it's your baby. You would have to take care of this paper for the longest time, right? Any question that comes from it, if there's an error somewhere, someone has a problem with something you indicated, they'll always email the corresponding author. Though we have other co-authors, but the corresponding author is the one that is responsible for answering correspondence and so on. So anything that bears your name, you need to be very, very careful and be very thorough. So I've taken my time, looked at it over again. That is why see it was open before we looked at it because I've been looking at it for a while before I submit it. Now, once this is submitted, unless there's any problem, you can't do any correction. There's a final version of the paper that goes online. So you make sure everything is correct. This paper has gone online already as pre-proof, but this will go and replace the pre-proofs line. So you make sure everything is done properly. Everything is done. Our affiliations are all right. Everything is done properly. Everything is correct. Once this is done, you can still save it and look at it later just to be sure. You can also, let's see, we can look at the preview. So let's preview it and see how it will appear if it's published or not. This takes a bit of time, so uh, bear with me. It's generating it online, so it will take a bit of time also. It depends on how strong the internet is and how big the file is. It's quite a big file, I think. So yeah, bear with me some few more seconds, two more checks, then it will be complete. This is just to give you an idea of the final process when you are submitting a paper. So for some reason, I was so excited about this paper, so much. It's not uh, it's not my longest review paper though. Yeah. However, I was so eager about it. This looks beautiful. There's something exciting about seeing your name on the paper and like with this like there's nothing I hope, wish and pray each one of you is able to have that feeling. It's exciting. Very, very exciting knowing that like your hard work has beared uh, this kind of fruit, right? So that's how to show hasn't fully built. So we have to take our time. Yeah, let's take some time. Make sure that the diagrams are on the pages like you want it. Make sure that yeah, and bear in mind is you can't do contextual correction. By it, I mean you can't change the details of the paper at this process. Neither can you change the authors or the author arrangements or the affiliations. You can't change. If you want to change anything on the first page of the paper, you need you need it to go through the editorial process again because the people who work on the publication are different, on the publishing, sorry, are different from the people who do the revision and check the manuscript. So the journal does everything until it's accepted, then it will be sent to uh, uh, the publishing house to do the publication, right? So that's does not fall into the things they do. So they can't change anything about the paper. They can only make arrangements in form of what it's supposed to be and stuff like that. But they can't change anything. So you can't change author list. You can't add or remove anyone. You can't change affiliations. You can't change emails. You can't change title. You can only change maybe you want the first alphabet of each word to be in caps, or and even that depends on how the journal presents the title. Some journals make each the first letter of each word capital, so it depends. But you cannot do it. It falls under the purview of the journal as to how they want it to show. You understand? But most of the Elsevier journals all have the same interface. They all actually look the same way. This is taken up. Again, if you have any questions or any recommendations as to how you want to see future videos, how you want them to be done, just let me know. Also, if you want to have a read of the paper, you can put it and I'll send you the DOI or I can email you the full version of the paper. However, I don't recommend email it to you, but if your institution does not have access to it, can indeed like email you my copy. There's a free download for the first 3 months or so when the paper is published. So yeah, so that's the final version of the paper. It looks quite nice, quite beautiful. Yeah, this version can go on your school's repository. That is if you are out of it. So that it's all there. Everything is nicely done. So I can get the PDF. I usually download the PDF and keep them for some reason. I have all of them for all the papers I've published. So that if my institution wants me to send them a copy, I can send them a copy. Most of the institutions do not like uh, seeing the names of the journal on it because of that issue. So they like the pre-proofs instead of the main ones. So let me see if I can download it. The waiting takes longer than the entire process. However, it's part of the process, so just have to be patient. So everything is being done online, so that's why it takes longer. See, it's building the PDF, everything online, where the corrections are being done online. So if like we made substantial correction, everything will be built online. So basically, I did the corrections were a lot, and I was typing into it. You can like edit part and tell them to put uh, paragraphs here or remove paragraph from here. That you can do editing. However, you can't add new content or remove old content from it. To bear in mind. However, I've been in instances where the editorial manager has told me to make corrections to a sentence because it was unclear. I think it was a Wiley journal, so probably the the rules differ a bit from publishing house to publishing house. However, in most cases, do uh, you cannot change the content of it, so it's like it's downloaded. So I have it here. Now we can go back. Can go back to the edit side. Yeah, here we go. Now I'm sure everything is nice. Let me have it. Let me have a second. Look at it. Let's have a final look at it. So again, like it's your baby, it has your name on it, so you have to be very, very, very thorough. You have to, especially if you are the corresponding author. So yeah, everything is fine. I think yeah, everything is fine. Looks good. Looks good. So we can save or we can submit. So just gonna submit it. Once it's submitted, if you look at it, are you sure you want to submit your corrections? No further corrections will be possible once you submit. So you see, but it's okay. So we can just go ahead and say yes. Say yes. it goes to them and they verify that you've not changed important stuff. That do not need changing. Once it's gone, then this version of it would go to replace the pre-proof that is online. So we can just go, let me see, if we look at, let me see something. If you go to next research, next research journal, okay, there's a journal. If we go down, we see that last published. It's not here, it's in article in press. If you go to article in press, I think we should find here. Okay, that's it. Click here. Yeah, this article in press. So you see that volume numbers have not been assigned and issues have not been assigned. Once the final version goes online, the volume numbers and the issues will all be assigned. So yeah, thank you for staying with me. Continue to be great.